So, well, good afternoon again, and welcome to our regular seminar. And today we will talk about a buzzword in the modern teaching, which is mediation. Yeah, and we will first get acquainted with this concept, and we will also find out like what it is and what we can do, what we should do in our regular classrooms. So, and first I would like to hear from you. So can you please write yes in the chat box if you have already come across this concept, this term, know if it's something new for you. Yeah, so yes, if it's a familiar term, yeah, okay, good. No, if it's not. Okay, very good, thank you. So we have at least 2 people who are aware of it. Good, good. No, thank you, Aida. Okay, okay. Yeah, not much. Yeah, you see that this word is a buzzword, yeah, and it has been being discussed for a very long time, and very often this term is confused. Yeah, so very often we take it as an ability to be a kind of in between 2 sides, yeah, which are conflicting. Yeah, but in fact, it's just a drop in the ocean, and actually mediation and teaching it has a wider, meaning, and it's a global concept. So let me share my presentation with you. And what we are going to discuss today. So we will identify and define mediation. We will also find out what types of mediation we have, and we will also look at the examples of mediation activities. And when talking about them, we will see how we can adapt or reconsider our own materials, so something what we use through the mediation perspective. So mediation itself, yeah, as well, some of you said in the chat box that you are not so much aware of it. Yeah, so mediation is well, it's the process of making, like in general, making communication between, making possible, yeah, making mediation possible when like the people are communicating and they are unable to understand each other. And there can be a variety of reasons why they are unable to understand each other. And we have like 3 directions and 3 types of mediation. And well, we mediate a text, then we mediate a concept, and then we mediate communication. And if you look at the definition, yeah, so this is the quotation from the big document from the Council of Europe. It dates back 2001. Yeah, so like at the very beginning of the seminar, we said that it's a buzzword, but it has been the buzzword since at least like 2001. And in the CEFR, yeah, so CEFR, so Common European Framework of Reference, has been updated. Yeah, and in the CEFR, you can find this infographic. Yeah, the description of mediation, and we should distinguish between mediation activities and mediation strategies. Today we will talk about mediation activities in general, and while looking at the particular tasks and activities, we will discuss some mediation strategies. So then if we get back to the previous slide with the definition, we say that so the communication between persons, yeah, is impossible because they are unable, for whatever reason, to communicate with each other directly. And I would like to hear from you, like, can you please share your ideas? Why you think people may be unable to communicate directly? Like, why is there this communication gap? So what can really build this so this wall between the people? Yeah, so can you please write some ideas, like your ideas, why you think there is such a gap and why people are unable to communicate with each other directly. Okay, thank you, Yulia, for your comment. So they are far away, you're separated geographically. Okay, yes, but you see that now we have like all the tools, to communicate different ways of communicating. Yeah, so something like, imagine that it actually doesn't matter if we are communicating face to face or if we use some online tools. So why people sometimes fail to understand each other? Okay, thank you. Speaking different languages. Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah. Any other reasons? So speaking different languages. Generation gap. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, good. Different lifestyle. Oh yes. So that's right. Yeah. So different lifestyle, maybe different professional areas. Yeah, even within one professional sphere, people may fail to understand each other. Fear. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you very much for so many great ideas. So let me also share some other ideas, and some other reasons. Okay, there is also characters. Yeah. So some personal characteristics. Well, then the gap. So like, what can create this gap? So there can be different language backgrounds. Yeah, so people may really speak different languages. Yeah, and then they need one language that they both share in order to communicate. Yeah, so I'm from Russia and I have a French friend. Yeah, and we are somewhere maybe in China. Yeah, and we want to buy something. Yeah, and we all, including the shop assistant, will speak English. Yeah, and there can be some problems in communication. And well, you actually mentioned it. Then also the reason can be that like we may speak the same language, but we may have different levels of the same language. So it can be L2 actually, so the foreign language. And so maybe, my level is A2, my friend's level is C1, and my friend will struggle with me. So because at least they will need to use different, strategies how to sound clear and how to be understood. Yeah, and also I will need to make effort to share my ideas and to communicate my ideas in a clear way. Then one more reason that people may lack some subject knowledge, or they may not understand some specific professional terminology. Yeah, so maybe I'm new in this sphere, and the people in my company, in my office, are all using jargon, special professional jargon, and I may find it difficult to understand them, really. And even so, as I mentioned before, so there can be like the situation that even people working in the same area, in the same let's say industry and in the same department, but they use different words for the same concept. Just an example, for instance, in some companies, all the employees are colleagues, or like from the HR perspective, they are employees. Yeah, then in some companies they are called co-workers. Yeah, so like actually the same concept but different words, and adapting to it may take time. So then one more reason that there are different preferences, let's say, of processing texts. Yeah, processing text, understanding text, reading, yeah, and also it is also connected to your learner type. Yeah, so maybe some people take longer to read text and to work out all the information and so on. Then one more interesting idea is that there can be cultural difference. Yeah, so this is something what can really cause a lot of problems and a lot of stumbling stones. Yeah, we may not just understand each other from the cultural perspective, but well, culture itself, like nowadays, the teaching culture is also one of the buzzwords, and people are getting more and more interested in it, because culture is no longer the culture of English-speaking countries, it's the culture of all the countries, because English is a lingua franca. And well, the other side of this coin is that we definitely need to deal with cultural differences and use our mediation strategies. So also, yeah, it was mentioned, and I was very, very happy to see it in the chat box. So the features, like special features of age, yeah, and also special, cognitive abilities. And well, as you know, yeah, so like when there are young learners, like youngsters, yeah, they are not cognitively ready at certain age to deal with abstract notions, abstract concepts, and adults, yeah, can do it better. Then also, like depending on the age and our cognitive abilities, we can communicate ideas differently. Yeah, and also like depending on the age, cultural differences, we may use different hedging techniques, yeah, in order to sound, for instance, diplomatic. So, and also obviously there can be difference of opinions. Yeah, so people may not share opinions. And the reasons for this can also be like really diverse. And in the chat box here, we have one idea, like different lifestyles. Yeah, that can be the reason, like why we may have different opinions. So we may have different background experience. So like a big number of reasons. Yeah, and as you see, this is what we deal with when we communicate in English in particular. Yeah, and also this is what we should remember when we teach our students. Yeah, we should remember that they may face these problems in the classroom and maybe outside the classroom. Yeah, especially dealing with cultural diversity. And of course, we need to be able to help them. So, yeah, then if we get back to the previous slide, yeah, so like I hope you remember that we actually mediate three things. We mediate a text, a concept, and communication. And I would like to introduce it in more detail. So, like first, we mediate a text. Yeah, and as there can be different problems, different stumbling stones, there can be also a variety of strategies, like how we can mediate a text. So sometimes we can simplify a text. Yeah, as you remember, we mentioned one of the reasons is that we may share the same language, but the levels, yeah, so can be different. So maybe sometimes we need to simplify the text. So then relay specific information. Well, and actually we like need to again make it clearer, simpler, or maybe sometimes we may switch to a different language, and like we need to communicate well these ideas, key ideas. Then very often in our modern world, yeah, we deal with the information which is presented in a variety of ways, not necessarily as a text. Yeah, so there is a lot of infographic, graphs, and so on. And we also need to be able to first understand what is actually written, yeah, and then we should be able to process, interpret this information, and then explain it, yeah, to other people. So then sometimes as a strategy, we may need to translate the text into a different language. Yeah. So something, I guess, new. And this is something what communicative teachers desperately try to avoid, but as you see, sometimes, yeah, really it's the only way out. Like we need to translate a text into different language. Then one more thing that we should be able to do is take notes. Yeah, and take notes of the text so that the other person can understand it. Yeah, so like a very common situation. We are at a lecture, we are listening to our professor, we are taking notes, and then we retell our group mates what we have heard. Yeah, so they can be the text that we read or text that we listen to. Yeah, another good example, like we have a text to read and we need to identify the key ideas. Yeah, so we read it, we take notes again, and then we are able to maybe summarize the text, yeah, or present some key ideas. Yeah, or maybe we present the author's message and, well, communicate this information to other people. Well, and also one more, like last but not least, idea, like we should be able to express our own opinion, which is based on what we have read or what we have heard. Yeah, and maybe we need to write a short response, yeah, using simpler language. Another example, like a good example, is that we read a text and then we write a summary. And I hope that all these ideas ring you some bells. Yeah. So because actually these are the activities that we do when we do some reading and listening exercises. Yeah. And not maybe all of them, but well, some of them can not be there in the course books. Yeah, but something what your students really need. And then also I need feedback from you. Yeah, so can you please write a plus, yeah, if you use any of these activities, and it will be really great if you can write which activities from this list in particular you do with your students. Yeah, you can just write keywords. Yeah, you don't need to write like a very long description. Yeah, but if you do something yeah, from this list, then what in particular? So maybe like some activities that maybe more popular, I guess. Yeah, but maybe you even don't think that, okay, it's mediation. Yeah. So it's like a follow-up to the reading or listening part of the lesson. So, well, whether or not you do. Okay, well, thank you, Julian. So translation, keywords, note-taking. Okay, good, thank you. So thank you, Aida. Yeah, paraphrasing. Yeah, that's a very good activity. Okay, Julian, reading, summarizing the idea, looking through some interesting phrases, discussing. Okay, good. Yeah, looking through some interesting phrases, it's like it's more about intensive reading and listening. Yeah, and it's also a type of word mining. Yeah, when you just mine the text for gems. Yeah, okay, very good. I'm very happy to see it. Yeah. So then we also mediate concepts. Yeah, so we mediate concepts, and the idea here is that so the language itself is the tool, yeah, as you can see, and we use this tool, yeah, in order to express our own ideas, yeah, some concepts. And when we do this, then we usually yeah, talk to other people. Talking to yourself can be a little bit suspicious. So, and then like when we are expressing ideas, yeah, and we are collaborating, then we should be very, very careful about it. And as it's part of collaboration and communication, then we as mediators, yeah, should be able to like facilitate some work, some teamwork, maybe collaboration, and also be able to lead some group work in order to make sure that, well, this conversation is balanced and that people are well using the language, yeah, wisely, yeah, in order to share ideas. So what we can do? So we can, of course, develop this ability to mediate concepts if we encourage our students to be involved more in some collaborative work and teamwork. Yeah, and we definitely need to make sure that our students develop communication skills, and in particular, well, the skills which help maintain a conversation. Yeah, so it sounds pretty global, yeah, maintaining a conversation. So what do you think? What can be the skills maybe, or the strategies how we can maintain a conversation? Yeah, so can you please write some ideas in the chat box? Yeah, so like what sort of communication skills or skills of maintaining a conversation we should focus on? Yeah, okay, so some ideas from you. Asking questions, yeah, thank you, Julia. Okay, okay. Yeah, so asking questions, then also, yeah, well, being able to bring in your idea, maybe to interrupt, to agree, yeah, to disagree. Okay, okay, to show your interest, yeah, to encourage, thank you, Aiden, yeah, ask for details, yeah, that's true. Yeah, very good, thank you. So, and one more like strategy, one more sub skill is as students are working in groups, yeah, in teams, it's important that they are able to be, well, team leaders. And when you are a team leader, you manage the group discussion, group work in general. Yeah, and you should be able to give instructions, to monitor, yeah, like the participation of other team members and understanding of others. And if needed, you should be able to provide help, immediate help. Yeah, and also I really like Julia's idea. Yeah, so there should be emotional response. Yeah. So it's very important that we show these abilities. Yeah, and also like what I particularly like about this, yeah, like that we should teach our students how to be the leader of such discussions, because you know that nowadays the concept of collaborative work is very, very popular, because like when we like compare it to some competitive work, yeah, so we say that, okay, competitive work is not that effective for a number of reasons, and also teamwork is not so much effective in comparison to collaboration. But I strongly believe that we may think that it's not effective just because we don't know how to manage it. Yes, there is nothing wrong about competition, and actually students should also learn how to lose. So that's a very important skill. Yes, so how to lose and start again. So also regarding teamwork, yeah, and so it's criticized because like in teams, there is a team leader and a couple of more like people who do all the work, and there are the others who are not involved. And as you see, yeah, so as we need to mediate everything, mediate concepts, opinions, yeah, as team leaders, we should be able to deal with all the members of our team and well, make sure that everybody participates and that everybody has their own role and contribution. So it's a very important, really, skill that we need inside and outside the classroom. I hope that you will agree with that. So, finally, yeah, we mediate communication. Yeah, and as you remember, yeah, we mentioned it that, well, people sometimes do not understand each other because they may not speak the same language. They may speak the same language, but at different levels. There can be different accents. Yeah, and it can also, you know, be a very, very big problem for the students. Cultural background, age, just in general, yeah, personal background and beliefs. And when two people, at least like two people meet, they all have this, yeah, they all have this background knowledge, background experience, beliefs, expectations, different norms, even if they live in the same country. Yeah, and then students may fail to communicate effectively. And what we can do about it in the classroom. So we should teach and make sure that our students are able to act as a mediator in some, for example, informal situations. Yeah, and they should be involved in well, the communicative situations where they deal with some, well, maybe cultural diversity. And also they should be able to facilitate communication in delicate situations and disagreements. You see, again, something what we all should be able to do. And this is something what is demanded actually. Yeah. So, and then let's see like what we can do. Before showing you some examples, I would like to challenge you a little bit. So on this slide, you can see some descriptions. Yes, so description of the students' abilities to mediate the text, to mediate concepts, and to mediate communication. So take some time to read it, and please write the level, yeah, in the chat box. What do you think? Like, what level it refers to? Yeah, so A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So which level? So is it something, is this level very, very high? Not. Okay. Yeah, just please write the level. Okay. So I guess that it's not that easy. Okay, thank you, Aida. A2. Any other ideas? B2, A2. Okay, so Galina, I think it's B2. And so like B2 is a very high level for those abilities. Yeah, so actually, yeah, so it's right that it's A2. So Aida and Olga, you're right. Yeah, and as you see, like the abilities are pretty limited. Yeah, and so students use simple language, and they deal with some predictable and familiar situations. Yeah, so that's why it's A2. Yeah, so as you can see, all those expectations. Okay. Good. You know that you can find all these descriptions, yeah, in the CEFR, yeah, or you can just you see, like Google it, like what are the mediation like abilities at this or that level, and you will have quite a lot of discoveries, believe me. Okay, then let's see like what we can do in our regular classes in order to help our students get better aware of mediation. So let me show you my first extract. It's from the Voices Elementary course book by National Geographic Learning. That's a brand new course book for adults. And this book has just some worksheets. Yeah, for each level they have worksheets on mediation, and in this book they pay like a lot of attention to the cultural diversity, to well, the concepts that English is a lingua franca, and mediation, like all these, you know, all these brand new buzzwords. So it's all part of the big curriculum. And as you see, here is the extract, yeah, on mediation from the book for elementary students. Yeah, and just what do you think? Yeah, what sort of mediation we're dealing with here, and what the aims are? Okay. So let me maybe share it with you first. So, okay. Well, as you see, the aims, yeah, here are to read, to summarize, relay the key details of a letter containing personal information. So here we are actually dealing with mediating texts, yeah, because we need to summarize ideas. Here we need to present the text in a simpler way. And then also, as it's well, it's a big role play, then we also need to mediate concepts, yeah, or opinions, and also students need to be able to mediate communication. So like this is like in general, yeah, mediation, all the possible mediation. And if we look at the CEFR, then what is expected from students to be able to do by the end? So they can convey the main points in short, simple texts on everyday subjects. Yeah, like they deal with these texts first, and then they're able to convey the main points, and to communicate their ideas. One more example also from the elementary level book. So here we have well, such worksheets. So here you can see the worksheet only for student A, but the one for student B looks the same, but well, different words are in bold. Yeah, and students have a card with words, yes, like 6 words, and then options, like options related to the origin of the words. They work together, they guess, discuss, like where these words like come from. And if I'm student A, I have a list of my words, and I need to find out where they are from. And then I also have the answers for my partner's words. Yeah, and then like it's a collaborative task, yeah, but the focus is on the cultural diversity. Yeah, and here, like the students need to learn how to mediate communication. Yeah, especially when they're dealing with like a multilingual space. Yeah, and here we're actually killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because students are developing their communication skills. Yeah, but also at the same time, they focus on the ways to communicate, to mediate communication. And what is actually expected, that they can contribute into an intercultural exchange using simple words to ask for clarification. You know that it's a simple intercultural exchange. and they should use simple language to ask for clarification. Yeah, and so just you know that our elementary students, of course, do some communicative tasks in the lessons. Yeah, but if we just add this spice, yeah, to the task, yeah, adding some more information about some cultural diversity, then it will get like the task will become itself more interesting. And also, like, I would like to hear from you again. So have your students ever done tasks like this? Yeah, like discussing some cultural background of the words, of the concepts that they deal with. Yeah, just plus or minus. Plus for yes, minus for no. Okay, plus. Okay, very good. Plus. Okay, great. I'm very happy to see your pluses. Minus. Okay, very good. You know that, of course, it much depends on the course book that you use. In the majority of course books, we focus on the culture of English-speaking countries. And also we may be pretty tight in terms of the deadlines and timing, and we need to cover the book, yeah. And we sometimes don't have time to do this. So that's why it's really a good idea if we have some like books, yeah, which provide all these materials wisely. Yeah, or it's also a good idea, like if you're not that lucky to teach using such books, then just when you're planning your syllabus for the academic year, think of this, think of the cultural component. Yeah, think how you can what sort of extension you can provide for the tasks and activities which are provided in the course book, and think like how you should develop all these mediation strategies and mediation abilities and skills. So then a couple of more examples. So this one is the extract from the Voices course book, but it's the upper intermediate level. So here, just I really loved this task. So students, yeah, the task is the following: that you have a Spanish-speaking friend, you have Spanish-speaking friends. They are like expecting a baby, and then they are just discussing the options, like which language they should speak. So like which language they should use when like talking to their child. Yeah, and then there is a text on bilingualism, and the students should read this text. Yeah, then they should identify the key points. Yeah, and especially identify, you know, not just the key points. Yeah, just it's a very, by the way, well, very common, very popular task. But they should identify the key points which are relevant to their friend's experience. Yeah, and summarize these points as bullet points. Yeah, and then they should like introduce these ideas. And as a result, they should convince their friends that, well, they should speak to their child both in Spanish and English. You see, just a few aims, yeah, and a few stages. So first, mediating the text, and you need to actually, well, work it out, and we can see it like it's one of the main aims. Yeah, mediating the text, that's like the core activity the students should do. So they process text in writing. Yeah, just read, identify key points, relevant key points, introducing them, and then also the next stage, yeah, when they need to communicate these ideas to their friends, and they should convince them. And here it's like, well, we're going a little bit beyond, a little bit further, yeah, and we should be able to mediate concepts. So, and the correlation to the Common European Framework of Reference. So students, yeah, having done this task or doing this task, should be able to summarize in writing, yeah, in language B, the information and arguments contained in texts on subjects of general or personal interest. So here they say that the information may be in language A in the text, and actually you can really experiment with this task. I mean that the text is in English. You may ask your students to like summarize the text and introduce the key points in English, or you may ask them to do this in Russian. Yeah, why not? Yeah, so as an option, it can also be interesting how they will state it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and any pluses? Yeah, any feedback from you? Like if your students have ever done anything like this? I mean, reading a text, identifying relevant key ideas, summarizing them, introducing them, and convincing other people that their choice of the key ideas from the text is right. Yeah, so plus if you have this experience. Okay, very good. Great, great. Yeah. So far only one plus. Okay, thank you, Ida. Yeah, you see that. Okay, yeah, thank you for your pluses. I'm very happy to see them. You know that, yeah, when we teach our regular lessons, then of course we do have reading comprehension tasks. Yeah, and they can be a variety of reading comprehension tasks, but like this particular task, yeah, like when we read, identify key ideas, write them, and make this choice ourselves. I mean that here the task says that, okay, you choose what is key idea, what the key idea is, and which of these ideas are relevant to your friend's experience. Yeah, I mean that usually in books students are pretty, you know, restricted. Yeah, like, well, read the text and find this particular information. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, but here, like, they have a bigger choice, let's say, and they should justify their choice. Yeah, and not just key ideas, but the relevant key ideas. So like shifting the focus a little bit can just change the, the focus of the whole activity. Well, and last but not least, one more task, which is also really great. You know that I'm teaching a B2 group using this book, and I'm experimenting with my students and on my students, well, they really find all these mediation worksheets very exciting and very useful. And there is one more which, yeah, they also found particularly useful and fun, is this, like housemates. Yeah, so the worksheet is the following, that, well, you are living in one apartment, you're renting an apartment together with your friend, and you have an empty room, and you need to find the perfect housemate. And like there is a list of potential, you know, candidates, and you need to work together, discuss like who can be the best option. Yeah, so here is the task at the bottom. Yeah, order the 4 people from the most to the least desirable as housemates. Justify your opinions and give reasons. Yeah, but consider the opinions of other people in your group too. And as a result, by the end of the discussion, you must come to an agreement about who to invite to move into your house. Yeah, so it's an interesting role play. Yeah, and well, like the tasks when students need to prioritize are really great. Yeah, collaborate and prioritize and make their own choice is really great. Yeah, and it can also be the part of international exams. Yeah, when students need to collaborate and come to a conclusion. So then, so what they should do is to mediate concepts, yeah, or opinions, and they should be able to collaborate and to construct meaning. Yeah, and what is like how it is related to the CEFR. So like students should be able to further develop other people's opinions and ideas. Yeah, and they should be able to present their ideas in a group. Yeah, both questions expect some reaction, like, well, maintain the conversation, yeah, and ask for opinions, listen to the opinions, provide your opinion, and also try to convince people that your opinion is right. Yeah, and also they should be able to consider two different sides of an issue, giving arguments for and against, and propose a solution or compromise. You see that like the ability to really communicate in a very wise and very diplomatic way, yeah, listening to all the opinions and then coming to a conclusion, yeah, which is a very, very, very important skill nowadays. Yeah, as you see, oh yeah, thank you, Olga, for your comment. Great task for development of critical thinking. Yes, yes, yes. Critical thinking and developing, you know, those hedging techniques. So something what, like culturally speaking, yeah. So Russian people are not very good at. So hedging techniques, like using all this very, very, very diplomatic language to talk about some, well, sensitive issues. Like here, the issue is pretty sensitive too. Yeah, you need to make a choice of a person who will be living with you. So then we should be able to collaborate to convince, yeah, that our choice is fine, and to be also like active listener, and finally reach a compromise. Yeah. Okay, thank you for this comment. Like as you see, mediation is such a, you know, broad concept itself, and there is so much to discover, really. And today we have just discussed a few drops from this so endless ocean of mediation. Well, as you see, it's something what we have already been doing. Yeah, and also I hope that our today's session has given you some food for thought, like what can be the other activities, the other focus of your of the activities that you do with your students. Yes, so that they are better able at mediating. Yes, so mediating texts, mediating concepts, and mediating communication. So thank you very much for being with me today. It's been a real pleasure to see you, and thank you very much for your feedback, for your responses. So on this slide, you can see where you can find us. Yeah, so we're inviting you to our VK community. So it's Anara Books. And you can watch all the recordings of our seminars on our YouTube channel, Anara Books. Yeah, so thank you very much for your feedback. Thank you, it's really, really nice to see it. Yes, and well, enjoy your lessons and hope to see you again. Goodbye.